And now we welcome Dr. Kaku to the Opie and Anthony show.
When you watch Star Trek, I mean, it's like watching something from the 50s, because we have all that stuff now.
Yeah.
We have everything except transporters and warp drive, and we're working on those, by the way. But we can already teleport atoms now. This has made big news in the physics community. Shockwaves. We can teleport atoms. One day we will teleport Captain Kirk. There's a catch, though. There's always a catch.
Yeah, what's the catch?
The catch is you have to die going through the transporter.
You have to die.
You have to die. And, you know, your body is reconstituted, you know, someplace else with the same memory, the same neural circuits, the same genes. And that Captain Kirk over there says, I'm Captain Kirk. But you just saw Captain Kirk die. And so then, where did your soul go?
See, the whole paradox thing, when that comes into play, just ruins the whole time travel thing. Going into the past, if you meet yourself, you would have had a recollection of doing so before you travel through time.
It's even worse than this. Think of, for example, a woman time travel scientist who builds a time machine. Eventually, she wants to become a man, so she changes her sex to a man, goes backwards in time, meets herself, makes love to herself, has a baby. That baby's mother and father is herself.
The same.
Can you imagine being your own mother and father? I mean, it boggles the imagination. But this is what we physicists have to deal with. If time travel is possible, you could be your own mother, father, son, and daughter. Figure that one out.
And then what? That is a little odd.
But you missed something. You see, Einstein says that time is a river. And we measure it with our GPS system every day. You cannot use GPS without assuming that time is a river. But the river of time can have whirlpools. Whirlpools in the river of time. And then you can even have forks in the river of time. Now, if that's true, and the river of time forks into two rivers, and you went back and killed yourself before you killed your parents before you're born, you kill somebody else's parents before you're born.
Oh.
You've entered a parallel universe.
I like that. So it's like future Biff having the big casino hotel.
That's right.
And they had to go back all the way and fix it from the beginning. They couldn't fix it with future Biff because it was a different fork.
Hey, we have a physicist here. Newton thought that time was like an arrow. Time never goes backwards, always goes forward, and a second on the Earth is a second on Mars. However, Einstein comes along and says, not so fast. Time is a river which meanders its way around the universe. Time beats faster on the moon than it does on the Earth. Time beats slower for the GPS system than on the Earth. And the Pentagon cannot fight wars with the GPS system unless you put in the fact that time slows down in outer space.
But a river doesn't go backwards.
Ah, but that's the new wrinkle. If you have enough energy, we now believe that the river of time can go backwards on itself.
They would make pretty much at that moment, a fork would be made.
That's right.
Where you would still exist, but in a different
time stream.
Yeah,
that's right. You've hopped time streams.
Right.
So if you go back and save Abraham Lincoln, you save somebody else's Abraham Lincoln from being assassinated at the Ford Theater. Your Abraham Lincoln died 150 years ago.
Well, we do it a little earlier.
So if you go backwards in time and meet Hitler's mother, you can prevent World War II from taking place in that universe, but it's not your universe. A parallel universe has opened up.
What type of technology would we need to time travel? There's been so many different versions of a time machine, but as far as you're concerned, what type of actual machinery would be needed?
Okay, you'd need the energy of a star. I mean, a DeLorean can't do it. You're not going to be able to get into a DeLorean and meet your parents before you're born. We're talking about bending time into knots, which means that's a power of a black hole, a power of a star. You would have to be what is called a Type 3 civilization, a galactic civilization. Now, we are a Type 0 civilization. We're not even on the radar screen.
We're going to level up. Jesus.